This is CBC Here and Now.
It's a turning point weekend. No more mandatory masks. We're welcoming in international visitors. It's a level of freedom we haven't felt in a long time, but with great power comes great responsibility. We're going to talk about it.
Well, the heat warnings have expanded across the province. We're going to see some relief in Labrador on Saturday. The rest of us will see the relief on Sunday.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Carolyn Stokes. Well, now that the borders are open, we're seeing more visitors to the province. This at a time when cases of the Delta variant are surging across Canada and the United States. And now that the mask mandate has dropped, how are people in this province striking a balance between summer fun and safety? Here and Now's Chrissy Holmes has more.
Here in Newfoundland and Labrador, we have certainly reached a turning point of a weekend. It is the first in more than a year where no more mandatory masks. We're bringing in more international travelers. And with so much more in the mix, it's worth pausing to really think about what else could be in all that social lubrication.
Tourists are here from all over Canada, every province of Canada.
I was driving around today and I noticed Florida license plates on one car and New York on another, and I thought, oh, they really are coming here.
And even had a chap whose mom was here from France a few days ago.
All kinds of people going around, all kinds of cultures. It's so beautiful and wonderful.
As you head out this weekend, there are some things you should keep in mind.
I think the do's and don'ts are really just, well, measure the room, make sure that you are in accordance with the vibes that are going on. And if you have any questions, please ask your bartender or your doorman or your security person or any of the staff that are trained and ready to answer these questions to help make sure that what goes on inside of our venues is upheld to the highest standard.
We're asking people to put the mask on when they're dancing at one of my establishments. And because you can't, when you're dancing in your cohort, that's fine if you're down on the floor, but other people may join you and you can physically distance. So different places will have different protocols, and just respect that choice because there's no one answer here.
No one goes out alone. We're all in every venue on the street together, and we all have a responsibility to make sure that we all show up that way so that we can all feel safe around each other. And that's just how it is going forward, and we all need to get on board with that. And luckily, so many of our patrons have exercised that responsibility, and we're very thankful.
It's a weekend, right? And everyone is supposed to be TGIF, right? And that's the way it is, right?
The meeting with people, like that lady there just gave me that. I don't even know what it is.
Oh, wow.
I think it's a lute.
Yeah, it looks like a lute, doesn't it?
It's Portuguese, right?
Wow, she gave that to you?
She gave it to me.
Wow.
And you'd be shocked at how many people come by here and give me stuff like that.
Tips, sure, but COVID? No one wants that.
We all know connection is the key to happiness, and so let's keep on doing the work we need to do so we can stay connected in social experiences like going out in any regard, let alone coming down to our famous street, which is, the destination we've been able to enjoy for years and for years to come.
Chrissy Holmes, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, still with COVID news, there are 4 new cases of COVID-19 in the province since Wednesday, 1 in the Labrador-Grenfell Health region and 3 in eastern Newfoundland. They're all related to domestic and international travel. And Public Health says it has reached close contacts. But Public Health is also asking anyone who was at the Starbucks on Topsail Road in Paradise on Wednesday night between 9 and 10 o'clock to get a COVID test. Health officials say not to worry if you just went through the drive-through there. Well, if you plan to travel by plane, train, or cruise ship in this country, you'll soon have to be vaccinated. Ottawa announced that new mandatory vaccination rule today. It didn't offer a timeline, but says it is working on a measured and practical approach.
The Government of Canada has been focused on vaccination and obviously believes, as do so many people that work with us, that this is the best way to end the pandemic and to allow for the economy to safely remain open.
And that's not all. All federal public servants will have to be vaccinated by the end of October, if not sooner. Ottawa says it expects employers in federally regulated industries like banks and airlines to do the same.
Another hot day out there, especially for the west coast and parts of Labrador. Another 30-degree day for Corner Brook today. Same thing for Deer Lake. And then up across Labrador, another, look at that, 30 degrees in Nain today. Definitely some beautiful weather. Only seeing temperatures in the low 20s the further east you go. But you factor in that humidex, you're starting to feel a little bit more muggy, certainly towards the west coast. Felt like 38 in Deer Lake today, 35 in Makova. Cartwright not showing you there, but feels like 37 right now in Cartwright. So we do have those heat warnings in place. Hopedale now is out of it, but from Makova to Cartwright, Happy Valley, Goose Bay, you're all in that heat warning. They've been expanded further south and further east to include Terra Nova and Gander tonight. And if you take a look at that, the reason why you're not seeing it along the south coast, we are in some fog. Bergio reporting fog. You're going to see that over the next couple of days. You're eventually going to see some relief, but I'll get into all the details when I come back.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, a man is dead following a single vehicle crash that happened near Barishwa Brook just before midnight last night. The 53-year-old driver from Stephenville Crossing died at the scene. His passenger was sent to the Health Sciences Centre in St. John's with serious injuries. Route 490 was closed for a number of hours following the crash. RCMP are investigating if alcohol was involved. And staying on the west coast, 2 hikers went missing in Pasadena earlier this week. A man and woman from Corner Brook, both in their early 20s, were hiking on the South Brook Trail when they became lost and disoriented. The pair spent the night out there without food or water, and they were unable to call for help because their cell phone battery had died. Now, both were safely found and didn't require any medical treatment, but the RCMP in Deer Lake are warning people to use caution when on the trails. They say to check local weather conditions, tell others where you're going, and consider going with another person or group. People should ensure they have plenty of food and water and carry a fully charged smartphone and first aid kit. Well, Labrador City's fire chief wants people to stop gawking when they come across an emergency and give crews enough space to work. The chief says dozens of cars stopped near Raven Avenue Monday night at the scene of a fire, blocking traffic and creating even more of a hazard. He's since written a public letter to help get the message across.
Monday night we received a call around 20 to 10 local time here that we had a working fire up on Raven. During our response, we noticed that it was a lot of heavy traffic in the area, and that basically slowed down our response. We experienced heavy traffic in the area, a lot of onlookers just coming by, I guess, to see what was going on, and they kind of slowed down our response, especially with the bigger trucks, our ladder truck and IOC's big red truck. She's bigger than this truck here again, and we need a lot of room to get our trucks in and our equipment in, especially during a working fire. I've seen it before, but not so bad as Monday night. It just seemed like we had 50 or 60 vehicles in the area that had no reason to be there. You can expect when somebody got a working fire that they're going to want their family and friends there to support them. That's no problem. But when you got people just driving by just to have a look at what's going on, we don't need those people in our way. You got 2 ways in, and so that did make a difference. A lot of people figured they could just drive by the area and come on out of it, but when you got 300 or 400 feet of hose out from different hydrants in the area and people trying to run over them and just trying to get through, makes it difficult for us. And what people got to understand about running over our hoses is that there's a lot of pressure there. If one of those hoses were to burst, it could injure somebody badly. When we got firefighters inside a working fire, that's their lifeline. And if we lose water to them, it's very dangerous as well. We're asking them to stay home and let us do our jobs, and let us do our jobs safely. And we need to get there in a little bit of a rush. We need to help those people that's in need, and it's probably the worst day of their life when their house is on fire or they're in a car accident, and some people just don't realize that. Just reading some of the feedback that we're getting, a lot of residents are agreeing with us and wondering why people would want to go out and see somebody's house burning, why they would want to interfere with fire department operations. And for the most part, the general public is giving us the support that we need, the room to do our work and do it safely.
Labrador's Innu Nation is asking for a court injunction to stop the Muskrat Falls rate mitigation deal between Canada and Newfoundland and Labrador. In a news release late this afternoon, the Innu Nation says it doesn't want to prevent rate mitigation, but is seeking an injunction to ensure that they have a seat at the table before the agreement in principle is finalized. The court application for an injunction filed today comes just days after the Innu Nation filed a lawsuit on August 10th. The Innu say the lawsuit seeks to protect the benefits they were promised in exchange for the use of their land for the Muskrat Falls project. Well, when the Come by Chance oil refinery changed hands in 2014, the province agreed to take on certain pre-existing environmental liabilities at the site. A report outlining those problems was supposed to be completed within 12 months, but nearly 7 years later, that hasn't happened, and the refinery is again in the process of being sold. And it's not clear what potential cleanup costs taxpayers could end up being on the hook for. Rob Entel has the details.
A new company hopes to unlock the potential of the Come by Chance refinery. It's been idle for more than a year, since not long after the pandemic began. Now, a private equity firm from Texas has an agreement in principle to buy the oil refinery and convert it to produce renewable fuels. Come by Chance has a long history dating back to the 1970s. With that long history comes potential problems. The last time the refinery was sold back in 2014, the provincial government helped make the deal happen by agreeing to take on responsibility for certain pre-existing environmental liabilities there. A report was due within a year to outline the potential problems. 7 years later, it's still not finished.
The reason for the delay is not clear. The province declined interview requests. Not only that, the government is walking back a previous commitment to release the report when it's done, now saying it's confidential.
The amount could be significant. Recent government financial statements put a dollar figure on the possible liabilities for cleanup. A preliminary estimate put costs anywhere between $34 to $269 million. As for the current pending sale, there are no details on what role potential environmental issues may play this time around. Neither company involved in the deal provided comment. Rob Antle, CBC News, St. John's.
Returning now to the downtown pedestrian mall, our colleagues at CBC Radio Crosstalk brought their show to Water Street today to see how people are enjoying their summer. From businesses to bands to photographers pretending to be reporters, they saw it all.
This is Richie Perez from CBC News. We are live right now, and if you look right behind me, a volcano has just erupted. Hi, my name is Richie Perez. Yes, that's my name, and I grew up here in St. John's, Newfoundland, and I spend most of my time taking pictures. I got into photography about close to 10 years ago. The pedestrian mall is the best place to be around to take pictures. Lots of people walking by on a 12 o'clock on a lunch day on a Friday, which is great.
I'm preparing for a World Championship in 7 weeks. I'm going back to Sweden again, and hopefully, no lockdown again, so everything will go smooth. I was lucky enough that I can still training during lockdown, so I keep myself in shape, and now I'm just have to stay healthy, and we're ready in 7 weeks.
But what's the food that you eat for celebrating and for when you're not on your rigid 5 meals a day?
So there's two of my favorite meals. The first one is chick's dinner. Another one is a hot pot. It's like 2 meals that's like very salty, but I really enjoy eating.
I was thinking we should do something, outside on a patio, and I love Newfoundland seafood, and I thought, there really isn't a true seafood crab shack in the city. So I was like, hey, what a great time to do a pop-up crab shack for the pedestrian mall. I think people come to Newfoundland to have a true taste of Newfoundland, and that's what we try to do.
I'm from Bangkok originally, but my father was born from the South Thailand, and my mother is Vietnamese. So I bring in all these different like curries, and you wouldn't be able to find it in a typical Thai restaurant just because they're afraid that Newfoundland are not ready. But I knew you guys are ready.
Darn it,
so.
we are ready. We can handle it. It's gonna
You
be
are
great.
ready for Yes Thai Kitchen, yes.
There's a lot more music happening this summer than last summer, which is great for everyone.
Oh,
It's good for our business, and it's good for me as a musician too. Actually been out playing some gigs. We're having fun again.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty cloudy out there right now. There are some showers rolling across the Avalon. That will reach the metro area overnight. I'll get into the full weekend forecast when I come back.
Time for the all-important weekend forecast. Ashley is here. Pretty warm in many places of the province today. Not so much here in the east, but some hot temperatures elsewhere.
No, forecast didn't quite pan out here in St. John's. Expected to be a little bit warmer. The sun didn't come out. Currently sitting at 19 degrees in St. John's. Let's take a look at those temperatures. You can see cool temperatures pretty much through to Gannet too. Only reached a high near 21. For you today, hopefully the winds will shift a little bit more southerly and we will see all of that warm air on the west coast and they're going to share, hopefully, a little bit of the warm temperatures. 27 degrees still right now in Corner Brook, hot spot across the province right now. Cartwright at 30 degrees. And we do have those humidex values up into the mid to high 30s, and you're going to hang on to these humidex values as we head through the weekend, certainly into Saturday and even into Sunday for parts of the island. So right now we do have some showers working their way through central portions of Labrador. You can see right about here is where we're seeing some thunderstorms. They're going to work their way further east tonight, but we do have some showers and some thunderstorms just south of the Avalon. Likely going to see these showers continue to head across the Avalon as we head through the night tonight, but that risk of thunderstorms not quite there as we head through tonight. A few showers rolling through the Bonavista Vista Peninsula as well right now, and you'll expect that as we head through the night. So this model picking that up quite nicely there. So we're going to see that head across the Avalon as we head through the evening hours. 9, 10 o'clock tonight is when we should see that. And then some showers. The showers that are rolling through central Labrador will head towards the southeast as well, and then we'll continue to see that chance of showers along the the west coast as we get into the early morning hours. Even the northern peninsula will likely see a few showers through the evening hours. Temperatures tonight, absolutely beautiful, 17 to 21 degrees, another muggy night tonight, and up across Labrador as well. Some beautiful temperatures, 13 degrees for Lab City overnight, 15 in Nain, and 18 in Happy Valley Goose Bay. You'll actually see your skies clear once those showers roll through. All of that fog, though, along the south coast in that southerly flow will continue through the night tonight. We're going to see that even for parts of the Avalon. You'll see some fog patches develop through the night and then along the west coast as well. As we get through the afternoon tomorrow, the fog should retreat to the coast, and then eventually into Sunday. Sunday afternoon is when we should see that fog clear out. Now, it may linger for eastern areas of the island, particularly the southern Avalon, but by the time we get into Monday, we should actually see all of that fog clear out as we move into a different air mass. We say goodbye to that tropical air mass. So tomorrow morning, we'll see some showers for the most part for most of the island, at least the risk of some showers. As we get into the afternoon hours, those skies should generally clear out for the west coast, parts of central as well. Going to keep that cloud cover in there for eastern areas again tomorrow. Risk of a few showers. You may see some peaks of sun, but not likely going to clear out into the afternoon. And then we're going to see a line of showers develop across Labrador. This looks like we'll see some rain, heavy at times as we get into the afternoon and evening hours, even the risk of some thunderstorms for central Labrador through the afternoon. But again, that rain will be heavy at times. It looks like that will continue for most of the night, even into the beginning of Sunday. So temperatures tomorrow will hopefully be a little bit warmer than what we're seeing today. I have 23 degrees for St. John's. If the sun comes out, you may see it a couple of degrees warmer than that, with those winds generally light, 15 to 20 kilometers per hour. But again, that chance of showers through the day. As you head towards the west coast, more than likely, rather central, more than likely looking at a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Still can't rule out that chance of showers, though, as the day goes on. Your temperatures in between 29 and 31 degrees. Twillingate, I have you at 25, but further inland, you may see those temperatures a little bit warmer than that, and then those muggy conditions will continue. So you're looking at humidex values tomorrow anywhere from 35 to as much as 40 in some cases. Certainly towards the west coast, winds nothing really to speak of, generally light, 5 to 15 kilometers per hour. And then temperatures along the coast, cooler, 19, 20 degrees. The further north you go, though, further inland rather, you'll get into some of those 25 to 30 degree temperatures. Northern Peninsula looks like it should stay nice and warm for you tomorrow. Cartwright at 25 degrees as well. Those muggy conditions will continue, but you're going to start to notice those temperatures will drop for the north coast. And as the day goes on, once that cold front rolls through, that's what's going to spark those showers and thunderstorms. That is going to bring in some of that cooler air. So 21 degrees tomorrow for Churchill Falls and Happy Valley Goose Bay. You're still going to stay around 26. So that's a look at tomorrow's forecast. We'll get into the rest of the weekend when I come back.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, hopefully those showers will hold off in Nain. Tomorrow they have their big birthday celebrations happening all weekend, actually. The community is turning 250 years old. It was first established by Moravian missionaries. A parade is about to get underway now, and there will be many other events like a talent show, community feast, church services, and a special awards ceremony on Sunday. Organizer Harry Dicker says the community is really excited for the celebration to get underway.
We're among the oldest communities in Canada. Everything else in the north, I guess, including Nunavut and the territories, they've only had permanent establishments fixed after 1950, I believe. But us here, we were established in 1771. It is really like almost needed right now, like with the pandemic and with some of the tragedies that have happened here in town. A lot of people are looking forward to something positive. And with some of the restrictions kind of lifted recently, it's going to make it just that much more enjoyable for everybody too as well.
Sometimes I won't make eye contact, or I'll deliberately look away from the bird I want to catch.
How to catch a gannet with biologist Bill Montevecchi. That's coming up. We'll talk about field research. For 3 years, a team of scientists from Memorial University has been studying the massive Gannet colony in Cape St. Mary's. Biologist Bill Montevecchi actually scales the cliff sides, catching and tagging seabirds. Recently, they invited our colleagues at Radio Canada to tag along to see some of their amazing work with wildlife.
I'm Kyle Donchmud. I'm a master's student at Memorial University of Newfoundland. We're just at Cape St. Mary's, so this is the world's southernmost northern gannet colony in the world. Today we have some GPS devices that we've been putting onto them. So this is the 3rd year in a row that we've been doing this. The first 2 years were part of my master's work. So this is just sort of a continuation on from that. So these devices, they pick up locations, so we know exactly where they're going to feed. And they also have depth recorders on them, so we can actually pick up on what sort of prey species they might be going after. So if you look behind where we're standing here, there's a very, very steep cliffs, probably about 400, 500 feet. And then there's the giant colony with all the gannets, almost 15,000 pairs of them, so it's quite impressive. They're just the largest breeding seabird in the North Atlantic, just a great big white bird with sort of a cream yellow head and black wingtips. And the way they feed too is, it's pretty remarkable. They go about 100 kilometers an hour, plunge dive into the ocean. The deepest that gannets can dive is approximately 20 to 22 meters, and that's below the surface of the water.
Why is there this huge bird colony here?
Yeah, so gannets are kind of strange in that way. They just sort of pick a spot, and then once a few start prospecting, then more will come and more will come. Back in the 1800s, early 1800s, there was hardly any here. So, over the course of the past 200 years or so, this colony has just proliferated until recently, where it's kind of plateaued and stabled. Ever since about 2012, reproductive success here has been pretty poor. There's this big event where essentially all of the parental gannets just left for about 2 weeks in the middle of August. And that was just associated with this marine heat wave that hit most of the Northwest Atlantic. So temperatures were 3 to 4.5 degrees warmer than usual, sea surface temperatures. And the theory there is that these warm waters likely pushed their preferred prey either further north or deeper into deeper water. So it might have been this threshold at that point where they just they couldn't find enough food, they had to go further. In the past 2 years that I've been doing my research, there hasn't been any such event, and reproductive success has kind of rebounded a little bit, but it's only been in the range of 55 to 62%, which is still kind of low, especially compared to historic levels, as well as more colonies on the other side of the pond in Europe. Okay, yeah, so that's what we're doing today, is we're putting these tags on. So Bill Montevecchi, my supervisor, he kind of goes down the side of the cliff here. The inherent nature of this is not what I would call safe. You are on the side of the cliff, but a day like today where it's, it's a bright sunny day, it's not wet, so you don't have to worry about slipping really. It's just, some of the rocks are crumbly, but, just take your time. And Bill's been doing this for, 40 years, so he's a veteran at this point.
You're essentially just going down on your bum, and you do that for safety, so you don't go head first. But the other really important reason for doing that is to have a low profile for the birds, and so oftentimes I won't make eye contact, or I'll deliberately look away from the bird I want to catch. And I just want to be part of the landscape, as Chris would say. I just want to be like one of the rock, a moving rock.
So that's why when you're going down really slow, you're watching every hand moving, every foot moving, because the racks are loose because there's no grass down there. So when you're going down, and if you get a loose rack, you might take it aside and lay it somewhere else. So that's an important thing too when we're climbing the cliffs. Make sure that there's no racks going to stumble down and we'll knock one of the chicks after cliff. So
they have chicks at this time, and they don't want to leave. They want to try and protect it and make sure that nothing gets it.
They are incredible parents. We're a threat. They know we're a threat, but they are so bonded to their young that they take the risk, And so you know, once we get the catch, and we pull them very slowly off the nest, because if you don't, the chick can go flying, other chicks can go flying. But then once we get them away from the nest and the chicks, then Chris just hauls them up, which is the best thing, and then we just try to catch them, you know, and engage them like that.
At that point, we get it in a bag, and they're just, you do that with any bird you work with, it's just so they're easier to manage. It also calms them down a bit, so they're in a dark place, they can't see what you're doing. While they're in there, you just kind of got to monitor their breathing a bit, and yeah, just make sure that they're not choking on a regurgitate or anything.
44. This is our third year coming on the cliffs. It's been part of Kyle's master's thesis, and Chris, we've been working with him for a really long time at the Cape, probably all of those 20 years, but it's just been recently that we've actually engaged, you know, going onto the cliffs, engaging the birds directly and putting these tracking devices on them.
We have a little metal band that has an identification number on it. That way, so, you know, you can track it over multiple years, even without these GPS devices, if it turns up somewhere. Because these GPS devices that we put on, they're only there for, you know, 2 or 3 months before the tail feathers molt off. Once every 2 weeks, I'll just come down, make sure everything is looking okay, replace the batteries in the receiver, and sit down with my laptop, plug a cord in, and then there's all the information for the past 2 weeks.
There's the shot.
You get an arm, wouldn't you?
That's why we have gloves. We've got 6 birds. It's work. We have to be really careful on those cliffs, obviously. It's a lot of work, but we're getting it done.
From what we've found with my work so far is that it changes throughout the season, like how far they're traveling, sort of the places they go. So it seems, you know, when capelin is rolling, they'll find a spot where capelin is, like St. Vincent's Beach, for example. That's sort of the famous place where everyone goes to watch and see them dive. So they'll keep going back across to there. And as capelin moves away, you'll see them go as far as Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon, southern Burin, sometimes Fortune Bay. And we've had them go as far north as Petty Harbor, actually. Yeah.
A lot of them are upset, you know, they feel like their work was for nothing. You know, it is heartbreaking when you see that the work that you did is gone.
Heartbroken and hurt. A war vet from this province grapples with the situation overseas as the Taliban continues to take Afghanistan. With the American army pulling out of Afghanistan, the Taliban are quickly retaking the country. The Islamic fundamentalist group now controls more than 2/3 of Afghanistan. Canadian troops spent 12 years there, and during that period, 158 soldiers were killed, 13 from this province. Now, this is a heartbreaking development for Jamie McWhirter, a decorated veteran of the Afghan War, who's originally from Corner Brook.
I'm not going to lie to you. I've been getting phone calls and text messages from veterans that served in Afghanistan, some that served with me and others that served before and after me. A lot of them are upset. You know, they feel like their work was for nothing. You know, it is heartbreaking when you see that the work that you did is gone. But, you know, I refuse to say it was for nothing. I lost too many friends overseas, man, to say it was for nothing. We all lost too much. Canada lost a lot of good people overseas. I don't think we're better off because of it. A lot of veterans came home still with the war inside of them. So I won't say it's for nothing, but it is heartbreaking when you see that, you know, that a lot of your work, all your work, is gone back to the way it was. You know, it's almost like we weren't there, is what I'm being told. We were there for 12 years. I like to think for 12 years there was some kind of hope for the Afghan people. I got to know some of the Afghan people, and they're amazing people over there, and they're strong, proud people. And it is, like I said, it's heartbreaking to hear that, you know, it's going back. Taliban is taking over again. I remember seeing, he was a kid, man. I say he might have been 13 at the oldest. He was manning the gate that I had to go through. He had a full uniform, Afghan National Army uniform, and an AK-47. The AK-47, if he stood it up, would probably come up to his neck. And he was in charge of the gate. Man, we used to drive through the towns, and the kids with nothing on their feet would run down through the toughest kind of road and crushed stone, come down looking for candies or chocolate or anything we had, water. You know, now that I'm getting worked up thinking about it. Now that I'm a dad, I think about those kids over there. I mean, I've seen kids killed. And, thinking about those kids over there, who's protecting those? I mean, I've seen so many kids who are orphans. They're probably going to be soldiers now. There's no childhood for them. So my heart breaks on so many different things over there.
And that was Corporal Jamie McWhirter speaking with our CBC radio colleagues. Now, Kandahar is one of the cities the Taliban has taken, located in the southern part of Afghanistan. It was once the hub of the Canadian mission there. Cameron McIntosh has more on the hurt and disappointment many are feeling today.
This unverified Twitter video appears to show the end. An Afghan National Army convoy retreating in Kandahar city.
It has happened, and it is sad because they are gonna move forward.
Each day, Afghan Canadians like Ariana Yaftali watch and lose hope.
Unfortunately, with this mass and chaos that's been happening, all those progress that has took place in Afghanistan are all diminished.
158 Canadian Armed Forces members died in Afghanistan, many in Kandahar province, where Canadian operations were largely focused. Among the fallen, Nicola Goddard in 2006, the first Canadian woman ever killed in combat.
When my sister-in-law was killed, there was an interpreter in the lab with her.
Andrew Rusk is her brother-in-law, working urgently now to get Canadians who help Canadian forces out.
We have an opportunity to do the right thing now in this emerging humanitarian crisis to make sure that the last 20 years weren't for naught.
Defense Minister Harjit Sajjan served in Afghanistan. He says it's a priority to airlift those that can prove they are in danger for helping Canada. As for whether this was all in vain,
there's a generation of Afghans who have benefited from the tremendous sacrifice that have been made by Canadians.
It's inevitable because we don't have the willpower to continue into it.
Former Colour Sergeant Yves Leduc Butterworth helped train Afghan soldiers.
I had a kind of a sense that, it was inevitable that we're going to leave and the Taliban will come back.
Nearly 20 years since September 11th, Yeftali says trust many Afghans placed in the world community is gone.
It's like 40 years. So, it's time that the world should, be serious.
As for that airlift of Afghans that helped Canada, the federal government says only that it's ongoing, giving no details on numbers or timing because that could help the Taliban. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Time to find out who's celebrating. Happy 57th wedding anniversary today to Pleeman and Leah Pollard. Congratulations to Bill and Zelda Dixon of Bay Verte, now living in CBS. They're celebrating their 65th anniversary. Happy 57th anniversary today to Calvin and Sophie White from Western Bay. Best wishes to Sid and Rosalie Stiles of Stephenville on their 55th anniversary, with love from family and friends. Happy 61st wedding anniversary to Mary and Bob Keating of Conception Harbor. Lawrence and Beatrice Drodge of Little Heart's Ease celebrated 51 years of marriage on August 8th. Congratulations from family and friends. Happy 55th wedding anniversary to Majors Wilson and Linda James. Well, it's a golden anniversary for Junior and Betty Jackson of Cavendish. Joan and Freeman Loader will be celebrating their 50th anniversary tomorrow. Happy 64th anniversary to Roy and Shirley Hodder, who are also celebrating tomorrow. Happy 50th wedding anniversary to Betty and Len Muse from Gambo. Happy 67th wedding anniversary to Harold and Myrtle Anderson of Gander. Derek and Marie Roberts of St. John's are celebrating 55 years of marriage on August 19th. Happy 50th anniversary tomorrow to Bill and Linda Whalen. Happy wedding anniversary to Mike and Madeline Cal of Port LaHaye, St. Mary's Bay, celebrating 63 years of marriage. Wishing Ron and Sylvia Malloy of St. Mary's a happy 50th wedding anniversary. Your friends and family say you're an inspiration. Happy 61st wedding anniversary to Ken and Jean Hudson of Pooch Cove. Happy anniversary greetings going out to Roy and Doris Snellgrove of Gambo. They've been married 55 years today. Happy 64th wedding anniversary to Elrita and Joseph Dumphy of Gander. Best wishes from family and friends. Happy 60th anniversary to Mary and Joe Edwards of St. John's. Happy 54th anniversary to Patricia and William Downey. They celebrated yesterday. Happy 55th anniversary to Alex and Melita Brace of Norman's Cove. They also celebrated yesterday. Best wishes to Meryl and Marilyn Rogers from Random Island, who are celebrating their 50th anniversary tomorrow. Happy 58th anniversary to Joyce and Ray Humphreys of Lumsden. Wishing Fred and Joyce Wells of Burgeo a happy 57th wedding anniversary. Pearl and Don Burton of Fortune are celebrating their 69th wedding anniversary today. Happy anniversary to May and Woodrow Head on their 70th anniversary. Happy anniversary to Edith and Pat Drukin. They're celebrating 52 years of marriage. Happy anniversary to Betty Ann and Frank Berkshire of Codroy Valley, now living in CBS. They're married 55 years today. 51st wedding anniversary greetings going out to Brian and Patricia Oliver of St. John's. Congratulations to Jim and Bertha Squires of Bonavista. They're celebrating 50 years of marriage. Best wishes to Joseph and Evelina Leroy from Point Amal, who will celebrate their 58th anniversary on August 17th. Celebrating 57 years of marriage tomorrow are pastors Jim and Lillian Anthony of Clark's Beach. Congratulations! Now to some birthdays. Happy 97th birthday today to Isaac Patey of Cape Ray. Happy birthday to Bernard Agresti. He's turned 90 this week. Happy 92nd birthday to Genevieve Perry of Glovertown. Happy 90th birthday to Walter Osmond of Port aux Basques. We're told he's a very active and vocal person who loves a good game of cards. Happy birthday to Viola Crocker from Heart's Delight, who will be 96 on Sunday. Happy 90th birthday to Martha Ward. She's from Little Benet, Placentia Bay. Happy birthday to Beatrice Hawkins. She turns 93 today. Happy 94th birthday to Eric Lomond of Stephenville. Well, here's an impressive birthday. Happy birthday to Headley W. Lake, who turned 103 yesterday. Joseph Cody of Spanish Room, now living in St. John's, is celebrating his 90th birthday today. And here's another big one. Happy birthday to Elizabeth Williams from Lewisport, now living in St. John's, who's celebrating her 104th birthday this Sunday. Happy 90th birthday to Ralph Abbott of Bonavista, now living in Clarenville. And happy 100th birthday to Evelyn Hatcher of Rose Blanche, now living in Port aux Basques. Another fine crowd. Congratulations once again. So, Ashley, tomorrow looking pretty hot and humid for most places in the province, but what about Sunday?
So that's when we're going to start to see some relief. Up across Labrador, same thing for the west coast. You'll see some relief from that humidity, and that's thanks to a cold front. Let's take a look at the future tracker. An area of low pressure will track across Labrador for the most part through the day. That is going to bring the chance of some showers, but in behind that is when we're going to see some of that cooler air. So that cold front will work its way across on Sunday, and you'll start to see some showers for the west coast of the island through the day, and that will continue for the most part. We may see a few peaks of sun, but as we get into Monday afternoon, that cold front really pushes through, allows some of that nicer, more comfortable air to move in, but it will stay unsettled for you across Labrador as another area of low pressure and associated trough will move through. And then as far as the island goes, after we see that cold front push through, we may see some lingering showers through the afternoon, but overall things will calm down a little bit through the day. And even into Tuesday, things will start to stay a little bit unsettled across Labrador. The rest of the island looks like it should be fairly nice. Temperatures on Sunday dropping back down, 17 degrees for Lab City, 21 for Happy Valley Goose Bay. And then the temperatures for the west coast will drop down. Going to keep your skies gray through Sunday, 23 degrees for you in Corner Brook, but that heat and humidity will continue for central and eastern areas of the island. 24 degrees will be the afternoon high in St. John's on Sunday. And then as we get into Monday, that's when that cooler air will really roll in. Still sitting around where we should be sitting this time of year, 19 to 23 degrees across the province. And then a little bit cooler up across Nain. So 17 degrees will be the story for you, and a mix of sun and cloud with that chance of showers through the afternoon. Tuesday, Wednesday looking beautiful. Some sunshine for St. John's and Eastern Newfoundland as we get to the beginning of next week, and then through middle of next week, temperatures in the low to mid 20s. By the time we get there, we're going to see a little bit of humidity return again. And then for central Newfoundland, look at that, back up into the mid to high 20s for Tuesday and Wednesday. It looks like sunshine at this point. Same thing for western Newfoundland, comfortable temperatures, 23 to 25 as your afternoon highs. And then for eastern Labrador, you're looking at a mix of sun and cloud all the way through to midweek next week. And then same thing for western Labrador after Monday. Temperatures will be sitting between 20 and 22 degrees. This photo, great shot there, Fox Island Trail. Colleen Stack shared that photo with us. And if you have any weather photos to share with us, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Oh, what a beautiful place to sit down and enjoy the view.
Absolutely.
Well, actually, before the weather, we went through all of those birthdays and anniversaries. But as I mentioned earlier in the show, there's another big birthday happening. Nain is turning 250. The Moravian Church established a mission there in 1771.
Wow, the community is celebrating over the weekend. There's a lot of things planned.
Yes, including a talent show. And I caught up with one of the upcoming performers, Mary Binky Anderson, to find out what this celebration means to the community.
This anniversary means we get to come together in a positive way. We have been through a lot this year, and this means we could come together finally, especially after the pandemic. We could feel the community spirit, and we get to have fun, and just it'll be very positive meaning for people in the community, including me. My favorite part is we're going to have live music at the Jeremiah Community Center.
And that's what you're going to be involved in, right? You're going to be performing in a talent show. Can you tell us about the song that you're going to be performing?
Well, me and my little sister, her name is Rain, but we call her Bubby. She really liked this song. It's called Imiktak, but it's a cover song from Reed, Inuit singer, just popular. Imiktak means to fetch water, so it goes like Imiktak kuyahuma swangayo galoaruma. It's about going to fetch water, and if you want to follow with them. So
nice.
That's one of my favorite songs too, in fact,
Really?
and my nieces. Yeah, great song.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's gonna be a great weekend.
Yeah, for sure. And Ashley, we actually have a video of the song that Mary and her sister will be singing at the talent show. They posted a video of it, so they're going to play us out tonight. So have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and happy birthday, Nain. Good night.
Down